What up, what up? It's Tony MC here, 1035 The Beat, Miami's Hip Hop and R&B. And I'm here with the big homie right now. He's got a lot of dope music in the mix right now. And he's definitely one of the artists that I wanted to highlight as one of the artists that you need to be paying attention to in 2026. Ben Reilly. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's happening, Tony? I'm good, bro.
That's what's up, man. I'm just so really interested in hearing about your come up, man, because I know it's been a minute for you. You've been an artist for so long, but like now I feel like your music is finally resonating with the fans, right? So, how do you feel about making it this far in your career?
I feel good. I still got a lot more work to do, obviously, and there's heights that I really want to reach. But to make it far enough to where I can say I have an album, and this is like the work that I have to do for my livelihood. It's a blessing, man. I'm super super proud of myself, and I'm proud of the journey that it took. You know what I'm saying?
You should be, bro. And I feel like, with the journey that you're on right now, like you're definitely on your way to the top, man.
Thank
And I feel like, you're definitely taking your stage name, along with you, man, because you've been with it for such a long time now.
you.
I know that, I feel like in reality, like in the music space at least, you've completely taken over the persona and, the namesake of Ben Reilly,
Mhm.
that at this point I feel like you should just be casted in whatever Marvel series or movie that they do, man.
For sure.
We'll talk about that though in a little bit because I want to get your thoughts on it. But
Yeah.
as you as an artist, like how for a new fan, like how would you describe like your sound and like your creative process?
I don't know how I would describe my sound in such like in like a one word type of fashion.
Or
I think my sound is a great combination of hip hop in New York, but I mean not hip hop in New York, Atlanta and New York hip hop.
Mhm.
Um, but also I think there's a bit of like comic booky, cinematic, animated flair to it as well. So yeah, I think it's me.
I feel you, man. Yeah, it's definitely. I feel like it's definitely like really personal to you, and
For
it's
sure.
it's 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 something that like you've definitely been able to give off as far as like your aura, like everything that's personal to you in this music. I feel like you've dropped a couple of projects over the years. I mean, like EPs and mixtapes, but your new album, Save, right? Like
hmm
I feel like that's something that like I feel like it's taken a long time to get to.
hmm
But how would you describe your past projects leading up to now?
my past projects, I look at them like this. I think they're proof of concept. Proof of concept, proof of ability. Freelance, freelance. My first project, it went viral, and it's. I think that's as much as of a proof of concept as you can get. It shows my ability to write songs. It shows my ability to play with my voice. It shows my ability to rap. Shows my ability to curate and sequence and creative direct and all those things. So I feel like my projects leading up to this point, both between mixtapes and EPs, is strictly like proof of concept. Hey, this is what I'm able and capable to do.
That's what's up. Yeah, honestly, like looking back at your other projects, I feel like, they're definitely different. Each one
Mhm.
of them is different. You know what I mean? And I feel like they definitely reflect a different side of you.
For sure.
But now we're coming up on Save, which has gotten a lot of attention recently.
hmm
And I feel like that's definitely like the real you. You know what I mean?
For
Um,
sure. Absolutely.
so talk about the creation behind this project.
Saving concept is something I came up with when I like named myself Ben Reilly. The
Mhm.
second I named myself Ben Reilly, I was like, you know what, I kind of want to go like whenever I was in a group at the time, and I was like, whenever I drop like a solo project, I want my debut album to be called Save. When I came up with the name Save, some of these experiences that I rap about on the album maybe didn't even happen yet. But over time, like once I created like freelancer stuff, I started coming up with like ideas for save. Once freelance started to grow legs and like catch some steam, I'm like, okay, cool. I can start talking about like what I really, really want to talk about, which is me. And that's a big, big part of save. I really wanted people to walk away from this project saying, okay, like I know who he is and what he went through and where he's from and all these things. But overall, like musically, Save took me about 3, maybe 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
But in reality, like it's taking a lifetime, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
It's,
like
it's my
yeah,
it's my life story.
yeah.
So it's taken my whole life to get to that point for sure.
That's what's up, man. Now, what do you feel are like your standout tracks? Like, what are your favorite ones? I mean, all of them obviously are like your babies, but which ones do you feel like you have to like point the fans, be like, yo, you got to listen to this one?
There's about three, maybe
Okay,
four. Responsibility is one. I think that's probably my most important like song I've ever written.
okay,
Um, Bulletproof is another one. Uh, Responsibility, Bulletproof. I'm gonna give you five from
okay.
Save specifically. Responsibility, Bulletproof, Hero Complex. Those are like the three most important tracks on the project to me. And the songs that I personally like the most would be like Don't Lose the Plot or Pull. Those five songs I think are just like a good starter kit for the project for me.
I love Don't Lose the Plot, man. Like I feel
Thank
like
you.
that's definitely one of the more like upbeat joints off of that.
For sure.
You touched on Hero Complex, and that was definitely something that I wanted to ask as well because I feel like you definitely portray that, throughout the album. I feel like that's kind of like a theme.
Mhm.
Is that something that like you feel like you have within music, or does that go outside of the music a little bit?
Nah, I don't necessarily feel like I have a hero complex anymore, right? The song Hero Complex is a conversation between me and my mother,
Right.
where like one night I went out, got in a fight, got stabbed, and I was defending a woman friend of mine. And that conversation that followed when I came home, my mom patches my band-aids up or whatever, and she's telling me, she's like, yo, like, I think what you did was good, but I'm beginning to believe you have a hero complex because you keep throwing yourself in the line of fire to defend other people, but like what's going to happen when you can't defend yourself anymore, you know what I'm saying? So um or rather, like, you keep trying to save other people, what's going to happen when you need saving, rather, so that's something that was applicable to my real life rather than music, and I just wanted to kind of tell that story in the music.
Okay. So I feel like that's a great point because it really brings more authenticity to the music,
For
in
sure.
retrospect. So that's what's up, man. But I'm glad you don't have it anymore because I'm glad you're able to worry about yourself, man. Another
For sure.
standout track that I thought was dope was Rescue.
Mhm.
You just dropped the video for that as well, just in time for Valentine's Day.
For sure.
Talk about the making of that video and what it means to you.
The making of the rescue video it was actually a little easy. It was one of the easier videos we shot. Took us like a full day. Not even a full day, like a few hours. We started really early. Shout out Jalen Josie. We wrote the song together, and yeah, that was actually pretty easy. I called her up. I'm like, hey, like, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this for the song. Uh, I have a really good feeling about this song. Let's see what we do for the visual. And I was like, you just have to be okay with being like my damsel in distress for the day. And she was like, yeah, cool. And yeah, that's how that happened.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I think it was definitely it helped like bring the album to life in a way, you know what I mean? Because it definitely put on your hero trait for sure.
So yeah.
Oh man, so I know that you've been, you're influenced by like a lot of different sounds,
Hmm.
between Tupac and DMX, and then
Hmm.
bands like Slayer and Biohazard, man. Like, how do those influences still play a role in like your overall sound today?
My influences come from mostly like hip hop, soul, and R&B. I do
Okay.
pull from like alternative like rock bands and things like that. I pull from house music a lot as well. Hip hop wise, my influences are range from Jay-Z to Wayne to Andre 3000 to Kendrick Lamar to Drake, Cole. I'm even influenced by like Future, Thug, and Playboy Cardi, and like I pull influence from so many different avenues of hip hop and music. Pharrell, like I really like Tame Impala and Toro Moa, and I pull from like just a lot of different people. So yeah, I mean, I think my influence runs deep.
Nah, I feel you, man. Yeah, I can tell that you're very eclectic in a way,
Mhm,
that, it comes out in your music. You're not the type to just like run with just one genre. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I feel like, that's gonna be great for you in the future, man.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, man, what other artists do you want to work with in the future? Because I know, you have a couple of, collaborations right now, but who else do you want to collaborate with in the future?
That's a good question. I would like to collaborate with like people that I just deem great. Obviously, like the guys I mentioned, the J. Cole's, the Jay-Z's, Kendrick, um, Three Stacks, Big Boy. Uh, man, I would like to collaborate with anybody that I admire,
Right.
like first and foremost. Uh yeah, it's tough to just say it. Sade. I would love to collaborate
Mm.
with Sade. I love Sade. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people that I would love to make music with one day.
That's what's up, bro. I hope you get to do that one day, man.
Too.
Uh, so another important question I wanted to ask you, man, like, the Spider-Noir series trailer just dropped, and I know you hyped for that, man. So what
And
do you
I've
think
been
about
getting
the series?
I've been getting tagged in that so crazy, bro. Yo, when you do this movie, bro, when you do this show, bro, I'm excited for it. I be like, man, Spider-Man is my number one the comic book character. So I'm excited for sure. I'm interested to see what they do with the show because the Spider-Man the War comic isn't Ben Reilly typically is Peter Parker, but due to like Sony and Marvel's like whole rights situation, they named him Ben Reilly, which is interesting because this is like the first live action Ben Reilly we see. So I'm interested in seeing like how that story goes. But I think it's gonna be great. It looks pretty good. That trailer looks fuck. It looks fire.
It
It looks
looks so sick, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how it turns out too.
Hmm.
Speaking of the future, man, like what do you feel like is next for you?
What's next for me, man, is just seeing how I could up it. I feel like I'm a part of like a new class of artists that are beginning to pave their way. Like the artists that I feel like are a part of this new class are artists that have been working for a while, but their names are starting to like catch some heat. And being a part of that, I kind of want to just up it. I want to like continue to put out new music. Um, I don't want to go that long between projects again. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like 3 years between projects to me is kind of crazy,
mm,
and not trying to do that again. I'm I'm already working on like ideas for another project.
okay.
But right now it's push and save, and wherever that leads me off, we spring on top of that. We jump on top of that.
That's what's up, man. Now I know that you're touring right now, and you're bringing Save to a lot of different cities around the country. What have been the highlights of that tour so far?
I'll say New York, especially, that was what we kicked off this tour with. A lot of like we packed out the building, which was great. Um, a lot of like friends and family from New York came out. So I had like some family members that never seen me perform before. I had some friends that I grew up with that never seen me perform before. So, my real name is Nari, right? And it was so interesting seeing people. I hope this makes sense. It was so interesting seeing people like all my friends and family know I make music. They know I rap. They know this is my job, et cetera, et cetera. But it was interesting seeing them see. It was interesting seeing them see me as Ben for the first time. Does
Mm,
that make sense? Like
yeah.
as I'm performing, I'm watching them in the crowd go. Part of my language, I could curse.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm watching them in the crowd go, "Oh shit!" Like I see you as this for the first time. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Nah,
like
it does, because I
it's
mean, it's like before, like they just saw it as like, like a hobby. You know what I mean? They saw it
I
as
wouldn't
something
even
that's
say
like
that. Like
passion.
I wouldn't even say that. It's like because they obviously know that it is what I do. But I think it's another thing, like actually like seeing me like perform live and being like, oh, okay, like I get it. Like I got it before, like I kind of got it before, but now I get it. Like this is like all my family and friends pulled me to the side and was like, yo, I've never seen you in that light before. And
Mm,
I think that just it hit different for me, you know?
okay.
Um, so
I
I
get it a
think
little
that,
bit more now. I understand.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that was a big, big, big highlight for me. As well as the Chicago show. The Chicago show was dope. We had a few people come from out of town, which was interesting too. You know, this one kid, his name was Parv, I want to say. He told me, he was like, yo, bro, I've been bumping your stuff for like mad long. Woo, woo. I took 2 trains and a bus from Indiana just to come see you. And I'm like, whoa. And this other dude, he was like, yo, I live in Dallas, Texas. He was like, I flew in. He was like, I'm so mad you're not doing a Texas show. I flew in just to see you. I was like, you flew to Chicago game? He was like, yeah, I leave tonight. I'm like, what?
It's huge.
Yeah, I'm like, that's nuts. But yeah, yeah, those have been my highlights so far.
That's what's up, man. Well, I hope you continue to get more highlights, as the tour goes along. Biggest, I would say like the biggest goal you have for like the next 5 years. What would that be?
I wanna in the next 5 years, I wanna just solidify my position in music and rap, and hip hop. I believe I am to be destined for greatness, and in the next 5 years, I believe that I will be doing what it takes for me to get to that point. You know, whatever accolades I believe I can achieve, I'll get them. Um, so yeah,
That's what's up, man. Hey, that's a great way to leave it off, brother. I hope that you get to achieve that goal, and we'll be watching from here, man, straight up. But
thank
I
you, man.
appreciate your time. Yo, let the people know where they can follow you at.
Yo, it's Ben Reilly. You can follow me everywhere. Save Ben Reilly. That's SAVEBENREILLY on all platforms.